como siempre, como siempre. Como means like, and how to if it has an accent mark on top of the letter on the first O, on this O here. ¿Cómo te llamas? What's your name? I know that como means how, but in English, you have the question, in English is what's your name, but in Spanish is como. ¿Cómo te llamas? So how do you call yourself? That's very much the translation. But como means how. That's what I wanted to say. Without the accent mark, it means like, como yo, like me, okay? Like me, right? So como has a few meanings for sure, a few uses, and it can work in this phrase, of course. Siempre means always. So technically you're saying like always. Siempre, siempre, always. Okay, so let's look at that example. Let's look at the meaning. Let's see what's the meaning of this phrase. Oh my goodness. Okay. Meaning or meanings. As always or as usual. Okay, so if some things happen all the time and either they're good, can be good or bad, you can use this just to express that they happen almost all the time. Okay, just like you would say as usual or as always in English. Okay. Now, let's look at some examples using this amazing phrase. Miguel llegó tarde, como siempre. Miguel llegó tarde, como siempre. This means Miguel is late, as usual. Okay, yeah. I mean, Miguel, what's going on? What's going on, Miguel? Miguel means Miguel or Michael. It's the English version of the name Miguel. Llegó comes from the verb llegar, which means to arrive. But when you say the phrase or when you use the phrase llegar tarde, that means to be late, okay? So obviously llegar is conjugated in present tense. So tarde means late or afternoon. So Miguel llegó tarde. I know that this is present tense, past tense, but that's what you say in Spanish when someone got to a place late, okay? The person is already there, so it's present tense. It already happened. He's late. But in English, it's common to say, the person is late, okay? So, but Miguel is already there. Excellent. Oops. Okay. Now, we have the phrase, como siempre, como siempre, como siempre. This means as usual. That's too bad, Miguel. I don't like people, when they're late. I don't like that. I don't like that. Some people say that most Latinos get to places late. Not all of them. I'm not one of them. Oh man. I can tell you that for sure. Okay, excellent. Now the next example is como siempre, fue un placer verles. Como siempre, fue un placer verles. So this is a positive one. We're not saying something, we're not complaining. We're saying, as always, it was a pleasure to see you. Okay, maybe you met with some friends and you can say this. Como siempre, fue un placer verles or verlos. So either one, this can be verlos, verlos, or verles. It's technically not the same word, but it's commonly said in Spanish just to say, yeah, it was nice to see you, or just to refer to you plural. Okay. Ver comes from the verb to see. Okay. So les is a reflexive pronoun. Les, los. Los is a pronoun as well. So it can mean you as well. Les as well. So, okay, let's break this down. Como without the accent mark, of course, and then siempre, como siempre, as always. So you can use this phrase at the beginning of a sentence or at the end of a sentence. Very commonly in Spanish. It happens all the time. Fue, it was. Okay, fue, do you remember we were talking about fue? So fue means also it was. When you say un placer means a pleasure. Placer means pleasure. Un means a. Okay. And as I said before, ver is a verb and it means to see. So when you say fue un placer, means it was a pleasure. But if you want to add more to the sentence, obviously in English you add to, right? It was a pleasure to that. In Spanish we don't have that. We don't have something similar here. So you can say fue un placer by itself, and that means it was a pleasure, because you can say it as an expression, it was a pleasure. Or you can add more to the phrase, and you can add a verb like ver, to see or see, and then les means you. Okay? Interesting. Not too difficult, huh? Not too difficult. Just a little bit. But remember, como siempre means as always or as usual, especially when you're complaining, as usual. As usual, you're late, or, Miguel is late, as usual. Or when you want to say, hey, it was nice to see you again. So, como siempre, as always, fue un placer verles. It was a pleasure to see you.